Hey Karan, how you doing?
Good, Rishi. How's it going with you? Good to be chatting
Yes, after a long time.
after a very long time. I mean, you're in Mumbai, I'm in Bangalore, and there's no way in the foreseeable future we're not going to be like seeing each other in person. So this is the next best thing.
I guess so. We did do one Zoom call earlier, but I somehow had to figure out we maybe had to do this call. This was better than the last one, and
In the last one.
I was doing a lot of talks with a lot of people, and I said, how can I not do a talk with Karan? I have to
No,
do a talk with
appreciate
him.
it. Appreciate it. Always
So
happy
I
to
want
be.
to. Sorry, go ahead.
No, no, always happy to be chatting, man. For
Yeah,
sure.
it's good to have a conversation with you too. And I just want to tell the audience how we met because that's what I do. I like to give the introductions. And for everybody at home watching this or at work watching this, which is nowadays anyway at home, work is at home. So Karan and me met at a place called 91 Springboard. It's a co-working space. I don't know whether they are still a co-working space. I guess they are,
Yeah.
but I don't know what the plan B for co-working spaces are. But that's where I met Karan. I think it was a couple of years back, maybe or maybe more. I'm not sure. He was
I
coming
think
down
2 years ago, I think.
2 years ago. You came from Bangalore all the way to Bombay to do at each 91 Springboard this fabulous workshop on design,
Yeah. How
design
to become a
thinking
graphic designer in 60 minutes.
in 60 minutes. And I was like, wow, the fact that you've selected that title for your workshop, it completely got me. And I was teaching people how to make websites, and I said, this is one thing I can definitely use a few tips. And I was so happy I attended because you managed to quickly talk to us about a lot of concepts. And I was like writing my notes down to like, this is valuable information. And I immediately spoke to Harshit, who's the guy that does all the software development and coding, and he's the genius in that area. And I said, you got to look at this information that he shared with us, and here are all my notes. And we found it very, very useful. So thank you so much for that fabulous
Oh,
program.
glad, happy to, yeah.
And I get to understand you continue to do that even today, and you're planning to do one next Saturday or something like that. So that's great. Good to know that you're doing these things, helping people to understand, graphics and how to use it, what is design, and all of that stuff. So, and that too in such a small period of time. That's where we met, and we've been in touch. I've been wanting to try and see how to get Karan introduced to my clients, but I guess uh, your quality is so good that people can't afford you. And I tell
It's not
people,
always the best thing, you know. Not the
but
best
I
thing.
mean, your stuff is so good that even if the client normally tells me Rishi can Karan bring his price down a little bit, and I'm like, no, yeah. You never, when you see something that good, you don't ask for price reduction. You figure out how to raise more money to buy that.
But you don't make me sound so inaccessible also, you see.
Well, I'm sure with what you're going to talk to us today about is going to probably make you more accessible. And I
For
think
sure.
a lot of agencies are going to look at you as like, where the hell were you all this time? So I hopefully, but your target, from my understanding, any work was not the individual. Your target is more organization, if
Yes.
I've got that right. Right? Even
Correct.
your solution, your service that you're going to talk to us today about
Correct.
is going to be on that. So yeah, I mean, I guess I don't think it's expensive if you see the quality. I mean, for me, it's like you don't go to Taj and say, "Hey, why the hell is your coffee $800?" You want coffee at $80? Go to Cafe Coffee
Has
Day.
the cow come from the Himalayas or something? It's come from the
Yeah,
Ganges.
yeah. I don't think people go to Mercedes or BMW to negotiate. they
You
they
know
go
what you
there
buy.
because they know what it.
You pay
So
for the value.
and I think it's better said that upfront because I mean you do produce some fabulous quality. I mean when I look at the stuff, all my clients they go, "Wow, what is this? How much is this going to cost me?" Is the first question they come and ask me. But I think the whole idea of price negotiation doesn't come in because you're in for something else. You want the client is already at a position where they understand what they want to buy, and you deliver on that promise. So that's yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Having said that, that's how we got together, and I would like you to share, how far back you want to go, and tell the audience about who you are and how you came to do this and how long you've been doing this, and then we can get into the specifics about this particular product that you are talking about, which is not yet launched, or is it launched, or is it like
Well,
launched?
we've got early users, yes.
Sorry.
We have early users, yes.
Yeah, okay, so it's still people can come in, you process it. It's not like it's not a free sign
It's
up.
not a self sign up yet, no.
All right. So the floor is yours. Take it away.
Thanks, Rishi. And I think for the viewers and listeners, before I go and start talking about myself, I think I have to say I really appreciate what Rishi does, because one of the reasons we also have kept in touch is because there's amazing energy that is so evident that he has, which is shining through the the webcam right now. And we have I think also a common approach to just making information accessible and breaking down information. So which is why I'd highly encourage other people to check out some of the other videos that Rishi has done and the workshops that he does, which are very, very cool. So about myself. So I mean, I've been in the design communication space for about 16 years now. I studied advertising graphic design at Wigan ND in Bangalore. Then I started, at that time was I've always been a people person, so did some networking and got some clients. And a friend of mine was coming back from London, and his incentive was, my girlfriend is here. Acha, theek hai, to hum dono kaam karte. Let's start a business. And that's really how it started. And then everything that Rishi was mentioning a little bit before is in reference to the branding communication work that we've done over time. So that's with Exit Design, and that's a brand strategy firm. In the last couple of years, I got curious about the space of what would it be like for someone to do design on their own, without having this dependency on an agency or a creator or complex software. And the main reason for that was people today are well-traveled, well-read, our visual stimulus is so rich, through all social mediums and the movies and everything that we, that we see and read and shows and all that. So very often we'd get feedback from customers saying, "Acha, isko thoda, can you?" And it was not the typical make my logo 40% bigger, change that, that wo cream is not working, make it psychedelic purple. There's nothing like that. It's very, thankfully, it's a little bit more tasteful feedback. And because they were doing that, but at the same time, right? And I'm sure the people that I'm the product is for, which is called Outlined, outlined.co, which is a brand automation tool, right? It's a brand and creative automation tool, and I'll tell you a little bit about it. That the insight in creating that was about once you create the communication. Let's say, for example, if I say to you, Rishi, if I say KFC, what color do you think of?
Red.
Exactly.
White. Yeah, red first and
red
white.
first. Yeah. Red, white side. Now, assuming after this conversation, suddenly you say, "Acha, yaar, I want to have a nice zinger burger, whether veg, non-veg, whatever," right? And you walk into KFC, and then you see, "Acha, this red is now some purple with yellow polka dots and something like that." What would you feel?
I'll wonder if I got into the wrong store.
Exactly, right? And that's what brand consistency is about. So, my point there being that when you have a lot of ongoing corporate communication, because in that, in getting into the wrong store, then you start questioning the product, you start questioning the service, you start questioning so many things. It's the same thing. The logo might look the same, but just color change, and it makes you question so many things. And that's, I was saying, because we did so much of B2B work and, communication, where after you become a company, you become a brand, it's so important for there to be a consistency in tonality in the words that you use, in the colors that you use, in the layouts, and in who you speak to, how you speak to them over a period of time. There are other tools out there, the most well-known one, which is Canva. But, a lot of the, and the questioning comes up about what is the differentiator, and, we'll talk about that also. But these clients, they would kept coming back, "Acha, isko ye word ko change karo, इसको थोड़ा change करो, उसको change करो, and then when I go back to my design, I say, अरे यार, why do they come back with these small changes? Now, for the client, obviously it's needed, because they think I want to get the best thing out, right? I mean, and you're laughing at this because obviously you relate to all of this stuff.
Totally. I call it the Mera wala cream syndrome.
Exactly, right. Asian Paints did that and then ruined it for everyone else.
I tell you, they totally messed it up.
So exactly.
For me, it's like, when somebody designs something, like you and Lionel and all these guys that are fabulous, great designers, and I look at, oh fuck, this looks so beautiful. Let's go with it. I get so excited. In fact, I don't want options. I like, you go with the best. You're the pro. And whatever normally, in fact, if you show me 3 options, because I look at 3 options, all are fucking good. now I'm jinxed. You are the guy who knows best. I don't know shit. I just wanted to. I can either go, I love it, or it looks like shit. And if I look like shit, I won't tell them. I'll just go find another person. That's how I like to look at designers. They are the pros. They know what to do and how they think. So I'm just going to go and just get floored. So
but you see, you're one of the in a very rare breed. Like this microcosm of a microcosm. That's where you fit in.
Well, anyway, that's me.
No, but and there definitely are few. There's a small segment or a niche segment of customers who appreciate good design, but there are many who like, "Acha nahi yaar, I'm paying you money. You please account for you please get this thing done." And that's
I paid you money, so therefore I have to give you my 2 bits.
It goes. It's par for the course. That's how I've always done the work. So आपके साथ भी ऐसे ही करना पड़ेगा. I said ठीक है, fine. But I was like, it's not efficient, right? And the moment you get into a conversation with the customer saying, "Sir, this is not efficient," the efficiency की क्या बात है? We're going to do the work, so we might as well do it. So there's no point doing that. So a different way of handling the conversation is, "Acha, you have all these online tools. At some point in time, before everyone used to write something, the word processor came in for a reason, right? To automate a lot of this stuff." Right. So and similarly, why can't that happen with design? And that's when I got into the journey of how can we remove this dependency on software, where this kind of customer who loves going back and forth and stuff. I said, no problem. Here's this online solution. Have a party. Have a ball. Change it 30,000 times. You can do it whenever you want. You can go to the airport, sit over there. You want to sit on the pot, in the morning and change it over there. Whenever you want, you have a party. So that's that kind of thing, right? And that was the sort of genesis going into the outline. And one other thing that I do is, again, designers and creators like the idea of doing for work for social good. So we do something called a design hackathon, which is for NGOs. And again, I'll mention that at the end of the thing, in terms of plug, when people can get in touch. But that's basically it. So background and strategy, going into design automation thing, and bit of a design hackathon thing. So that's a little background. Yeah.
So tell me one thing. If we were to say who the target audience for Canva is and who the target audience for Outlined. It's basically that Canva is the guy that's पैसा कम है, मेरे को कुछ जल्दी फटाफट सोशल मीडिया में डालने का है, और कुछ ऐसा ईमेल व्हाट्सएप करने का है, and then they go to a Canva free deal, and then there are people like who said, not only is it free, fuck it, I think I want all the pro shit, that's really good stuff, and $12 le, and I am able to go, I can spend $1,000 a month, non-issue, right? And I go for the monthly auto debit credit my card, right? And I make a little video, 20-second, I make a little bloody image, and I'm happy, right? I'm a marketing guy, I'm a business development guy. मुझे कुछ बेचना है, I need to put something, and I really don't screw around. I said, इसने डिजाइनर ने बनाया ना, मुझे तो वर्ड ही चेंज करना है. यहाँ पे रोहित लिखा, मेरे को ऋषि लिखना है. That guy is teaching something else, I'm teaching my website. So for me, I just change the freaking word. I don't even mess with the freaking font or its color. I mean, like that bug has already thought of the font. He's already thought of the color. He's already thought of where the person's face should be and what size it should be. I just fucking do it.
Yeah.
I don't bloody apply. That's why in 5 minutes I'm out with a bloody JPEG or a fucking MOV file. I'm done. And then I go and do my campaigning.
Yes.
So if you were to look at, okay, so outlined is that's not the target for outline, right? Because it's not meant for the guy that's just starting up and he has little money. This guy wants to get onto a subscription plan and have the control. The whole idea is the agency says, apne ko karna hai. So it's kind of like, what is the name of it? The company that was the first company where you used to do branding for companies, and then
Exit Design, that's still around. We still do.
So there are those customers that are either not yet aware of outline,
Yes.
and therefore they prefer नहीं Karan, हम लोग तेरे को 10 बार phone करेगा तो 10 बार changes करके दे दो, and then you have your guys at the office sitting and doing just that, right?
Correct.
Now, so that company, Exit Design, is there for the ones that haven't transitioned from hey, get it done to hey, I can do it myself. These guys have given me the ability to do it. So now the marketing head or the marketing team or the sales team of those agencies, anyway, we are going to this Exit Design. They're giving us an option to do it on outline. We just have to get onto their subscription, and we don't need to like कल कुछ करना है उनको phone करने की जरूरत नहीं. We don't have to call Karan's team together because they've given us a platform. We go, all our material is there, right? All our brochures, all our everything is there. We just take that, इसको इधर डाल दिया, we are ready to go. We don't even have to call Karan's team to say, can you help us get this done? How much time is it going to? Or पैसा कितना लगने वाला है? Right? That's the biggest one. पैसा extra कितना लगेगा? Because Karan also is an agency. They are an agency. You're an agency. Everybody is an agency. Everybody is a big bloody company, corporate. So outline is targeted for companies that didn't know that this option existed. And for those who are willing to, I think the more new gen organizations would probably adapt to this. The old ones may not be, they are still like, hey, please get it done because you're my slave, I paid you money for it, right? That's basically what I hope I haven't, basically ticked off any of your customers like, hey, Karan, is that how you see me? Do I ever say you're my slave?
No, if anything, I think the ones who do take those extra liberties, they're very aware also, when they do that.
They take pride in saying, you are my slave, Karan, do it.
And we choose not to work with them, basically.
So it's okay, we can tell them galis, no problem. Chalo, theek hai, bach gaya. So Exit Design profitability is not at stake by saying this.
Yeah.
So can you do one thing? Can you take us through like a little walkthrough demo or something of outline for those people that are still watching us and are like, okay, these two jokers constantly crack jokes here. Let's see what the hell is outline.
Talking.
Let's go and see outline. Can you kind of do a screen share or something like that? And
of course, doing that right now. Just let me know once you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see. Go ahead.
And fantastic. So I think you encapsulated it. Fairly well. The key thing that I want to point out, because you brought up Canva, right? So Canva is spot on. I mean, full power to Canva, great respect, fantastic product. But some of the key differentiators, and this is one of the early questions that get, Acha, what is the difference between you and Canva? And I'll show you that. So when you go to outlined.co, this is what you will get to see. Anyone interested, when you come to the site, we're onboarding, so you will get this form, get early access. You can sign up over here. But as you go down, it'll give you a broad overview. Who are we targeting? It's basically brand marketers, marketing managers, agencies. Now, agencies could be advertising agencies, branding agencies, event and PR. These different agencies, and business owners of a certain segment who have, are not completely starting out, where Canva is fantastic. I mean, if you want to create a logo from scratch, you want to create something from scratch, it's fantastic. But like we were talking about the KFC example a little earlier, if you want consistency, if you want a relationship, your communication needs to look consistent. And you don't get that from a tool like Canva, because it's about excitement. If it's for a restaurant brand, maybe it's okay. But if it's for more corporate communication or any other kind of communication, you need to have consistency. And then, we have a wide variety of options in terms of standardization of templates, free stock, multiple languages.
First one which you showed me was auto resizes. Sounds very interesting. So
Yes.
typically that is like, I guess you'll get into that a little bit, because that one caught my attention immediately, because you got different social media platforms with freaking different resolution sizes. This was getting me excited. I just saw that and it caught my attention. But sorry, I don't want to stop your flow. Please continue.
No. I think you caught on to one of our, one of the key features. So let me now jump into, once you log in, this is what you will see, in terms of the dashboard. You basically get, you can, if you have to create a new project, you can go in there. You have templates, my projects and this thing. So if I click on templates, I will see all the different templates that are of my particular brand. So let's say, for example, this is a particular one of our clients who are based, in the UK, and they have a consistent brand thing. So by virtue of just going in over here, I can click edit something and then, get done with a JPEG, PDF, PNG, or even HTML for emailer, and anything that I edit over here, I can save within, my projects. So I have my own sort of repository over here. And, if I were to sort of go into any one of the templates, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you the, one second, where is it? Over here, right? So when you click on a particular design, this is what your actual editor thing looks like, your editor space. Immediately, one of the first things that we have to point out, we've looked to keep it visually simple, because if you recall, the Photoshop Illustrator, आप यहाँ पे options हैं, ऊपर options हैं, right में options हैं, और आपको क्या करने का है, वो रोहित को ऋषि बनाने का है.
Correct. No, this is actually one thing I wanted to say earlier, but I was not wanting to stop your flow. But that's what I actually noticed a couple of pages before, that you, in comparing, because since I use Canva also, yours is very clean and neat. It's not cluttered, is the word I would use. I got used to the clutter with Canva, but this is the one thing I could first say, oh wow, very crisp kind of look.
Clean, hai na?
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you. So and it essentially comes from a place of helping business efficiency, because you want to be focusing on creating a lot of communication and push it out. So very quickly now, let's say, for example, if you click on, let's say a text box, only then this shows up. If you have a brand font that's specific to you, can add new fonts. You can change size and all the standard stuff that you have. So you don't feel like you're ever learning something new. जैसे आपने Google Docs में use किया है, or even if you used Canva, you'll find that, okay, this is not like a major learning curve. Same thing if you want to do with images, crop, filters. We even have some of this stuff, transparency. All that standard stuff is there, right? So assuming you have this in place, now let me show you some of the hero features. Which the first thing that you asked about was the auto resize thing, right?
Yes.
So let's look at auto resize. Now, what we've done very simply is all communication, if you look at it, is a function of portrait, landscape, or square. Okay?
Right.
So हमने क्या किया है? All the various different across different social media.
I can just pick Facebook cover group, Facebook, and it's already predefined.
Exactly. So you have the sizes there, you have, and across the different mediums, and across the orientations.
That's terrific.
So now what I want to do is I want to, let's say, click on IGTV cover, Instagram story, Pinterest, let's say Pinterest in stream, then maybe a few Facebook sizes, maybe a Google My Business post, and a square size मैं LinkedIn ले लेता हूँ. ठीक है? I click on generate.
It's doing all the 9 templates now of that.
Yeah, exactly. And what you will see is automatically they get auto-generated on the left-hand side. You'll see the output within, and think about this. If you're working with traditional software, you're working with this, acha resize karo. Each of these will take you about 3, 4, 5 minutes to do.
Right. And then you're done. It's like we did it in less than 20 seconds. 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Seconds.
Exactly. तो अभी आपने ये देखा ये square वाला है मैंने यहाँ पे click कर दिया.
Let's see lovely, very nice. So all alignments, everything. So this is actually not just. I mean, even the software developers are designers from. Or you have 2 teams in here. Design. I'm getting into now the back end of outline. You have
please.
So you got teams which are design guys as well as the coding chap, and they both see eye to eye because they will explain why it is that this should be here and it should be so big in a portrait, and why it should be more in the center if it is a landscape. And so the software guy has to write the software in such a way to get वो image रहेगा तो इतना down होना है, इतना up होना है. There's a lot of ifs and buts. There's a huge formulation back there. Wow. I mean, I guess only people like me can appreciate it.
No. I hope it's not just you. I hope it's a lot of the marketers watching this also.
I don't know, because I am a mix of both. I am a techie and I understand how
sales background, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not just a business development. I was a techie converted business development guy. So I understand the back end technology. So I'm really able to appreciate what you did, man.
Appreciate it. No, and this is no easy feat. The biggest thanks that I have to give, obviously, the human side of the team that put it together, and on the design side in terms of understanding the nuances. But this all has been made possible because of our friendship with something called AI. So there is an artificial intelligence framework in this,
wow,
which is generating all this, and this now goes into a space called generative design, where it understands what you want to do, and then it makes sense of it. And it's also an algorithm that the more you use it, the smarter and the more intelligent you'll get. And even smaller things, like let's say for example, ये वाला जो है ना, ये मेरे को लग रहा है अच्छा ये font थोड़ा छोटा है, मैं इसको क्या करता हूँ, उसको यहाँ पे करता हूँ, I'll make it a little bigger, so it's a little cleaner.
Adjustment is so easy that it hardly took any effort.
And then
the marketing guy can do it, the sales guy can do it.
Right? Exactly, right? And that's the point. And when you know that अच्छा, all I need is the main one template, और मेरे को अभी उसमें से 500, let's say not so 500, maybe 500 will be maybe for an e-commerce company doing lots of banners. But even if I have to do 30 variations of it, I can do one click in less than 10 seconds, it's done. You know? Right. So you have that. Right. So this is one key thing. And then all of this, I can select all, I can, save the selected, I can name a folder, let's say, Rishi demo, मैं save करता हूँ, and this will get saved in my projects section as a separate set.
Right.
Automatically that you saw over there.
Fantastic.
So this is, and as you see over here, now all of them got generated like that, and then all of them, if I want to download, I can do that.
Correct. I have a question. Okay. Yes. Now, is it that your existing clients who are already part of Exit Design, you've got your clients over there, right?
Yes.
They're paying some sort of a retainer to keep you on board and do all their design work and branding work and colors and all of that stuff. Now, are they your first customer to say that, hey guys, by the way, we, as part of Exit Design, we have outlined, we urge you to consider trial. Yeah, take a free trial, check it out before you see this. And then you kind of seduce them, like, take drugs for a few times, and then they get addicted to it. And they're like, whew, we're off the hook. Now these guys are on their own. Now let's go find some new customers.
Yeah. Listeners, we're not proposing, usage of drugs in any way, but the metaphor, the analogy, of course.
So that's working well, in the sense you first get them on board like a regular agency company, and then you gradually convert them that, see, we are now giving you wings to fly. Would you like them?
No, spot on. And actually, that's the exact use case that we're saying with other agencies also. Right. With other creatives, it's not about cannibalizing or losing out on business. It's in fact, we working with other agencies. If agencies are referring to us, we work with them as resellers. There's a percentage that goes to them also. Right. But and this saves. If you think about it, what AI essentially is doing, it's augmenting the designers or the creators' productivity. So this nobody really particularly enjoys doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's ghada majuri kaam, yaar. At the end of the day, if the designer is like, what the fuck am I doing in my life, man? I was meant to do something more.
Yeah. I want to win that Cannes line, right? I don't want to be sitting and resizing banners.
Correct.
So this, wow. That's where this sort of thing comes in. So as you saw, this is one key feature around the auto resize.
Right.
Some of the other key interesting things that we have is that we have translation across 111 different languages. And
using Google Translate or your?
We are using Google Translate. We have verified this with a bunch of different customers who have also said that this is probably one of the most accurate ones that they have also seen that we used over time. And also, Google just has the largest data set, right? So I mean,
right. And it's getting better every time. Every time I go back to Google Translate, I'm like, shit, this is better than last time,
Exactly, So apni tarah ka pyar mein some, that kind of. So I mean, you see the translation
It's
happen.
almost done, and if they want, they can just make a little tweak over there. If right,
Exactly. They can do that. So you
it,
have
it,
that.
it speeds
Um,
up the translation effort drastically.
Exactly. So I mean, we have the translation thing. We also have a couple of other options where you can import like a PDF document directly into the tool. Because how do you get onto the tool, right? One is you can upload assets like this one. These are actually separate sets of assets. So I've got the
Correct.
logo separately. I've got the
Correct.
background separately.
Yes.
I've added the text box, which is also very, very simple, to
Correct.
see
Yes.
and add in. Or it might be I might have a ready file, and I can just click on upload file, upload PDF, and it'll come as a delayered thing,
How
into
did
the
you do
tool.
that? AI.
Yes, again,
Whoa.
it's the wonders
Whoa.
of like
That is awesome.
yeah. I mean, it's partly AI, and it's also I think kudos to the tech team that we have in house. But why don't I do another one, which is where we can import an Illustrator file. So we also allow for an
Right.
Illustrator file itself to be imported.
You're taking the existing market, existing products that people are using as designers, and then this is really nice.
Exactly, and it just I click on convert, and then it's just calculating time, and it's hop. And I mean, as you can see now, as I'm sure you can see, and as also some of the viewers can see, these kind of features you don't have on Canva, because these in
Yes.
some way are they really are the in between like a Photoshop and a Canva, right?
Correct.
Which is why tools like, for example, Figma and XD are doing really well today, because the way we need to engage with our information is very different from what it was. I mean, there's no reason for you to be learning 30 sets of tools, just within one, which is Photoshop Illustrator, to be able to create any kind of output.
I have a question.
Go for it.
I know there are a lot of people still on Corel. Does this have only for the Adobe format, and are you just stuck with Adobe, or are you also opening up to other companies like Corel? Because there's some people who are just stuck in Corel, like neck deep.
So great question. And worth sort of addressing, because one of the things, as you can see over here, also what we're doing is we're adding more and more integrations. For example, we have a Google Drive integration,
Okay.
Dropbox integration.
Yes.
You've seen. I'll show you another quick thing after this. This is the one that I just imported from Excel. As you can see, it's completely editable. I can move things around, and then I can save this as a template. So even creating a file, jumping onto this, if I have to change a font, Miko, jo bhi karne ka, I can do that very, very easily. If I want to change the font size, I can do it. Everything is completely editable. One other key thing worth mentioning, for again that KFC example where you want consistency, is acha ye logo hai, or let's say if this text is here, it should be here only. It should not move anywhere. So we have even the option of like locking something in place, so you can't actually move it around.
Yeah, got it.
Even in terms of the colors, you have a very specific color palette, so it can be very, very closely managed.
Right.
One last quick thing that I just want to show you before we continue our sort of conversation, is how is it that you can create multiple designs using Excel. Using an Excel sheet. So for example, what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to create a very simple design, let's say for a banner for this pair of this sports shoe company, right? So I'm creating a logo, maine dal diya. I put this thing over here, and now I'm going to add some text and say, I love these shoes, right? And now what do I want to do? I want to create 5 variations of this one banner. It's a simple banner, but I want to create 5 variations. Now, where does that come in handy? Let's say you have banner that's going out where it's in multiple languages, multiple price points, multiple geographies, address change karne ka hai, image change karne ka hai. That's where this Excel automation. Now, what is happening over here? It's automatically finding out what is image and what is text. Now, if I change, isko main yahan pe dalu, isko yahan pe dalu, फिर से पूछता है, अच्छा Excel भाई आपको पता है, हाँ मैंने पकड़ लिया. This is my image, this is my text. I'm just going to put it back so it looks neat as the end output.
Okay.
But what I'm doing now is download the text template will just do, what it will do is that it will give me a blank Excel sheet. for the purpose of this particular conversation, I have filled in this Excel sheet, which is
Okay.
object 3 with 5 headlines.
Okay.
So मैं ये headline का डाल दिया. I'm going to now upload this thing. That's got uploaded. Similarly with the images folder, I've put in my images folder, I've got the object 1, which is 5 different images, object 2, which is the logo. I upload this images folder. Okay, so I just need to do that background setting. एक बार मैंने कर दिया. I spent 5-10 minutes to do that.
Yeah.
And I click on upload, click on generate. And within a couple of seconds, you will see, multiple versions of that.
Oh.
See, now I answered that question, right? ये Canva में और इसमें क्या फर्क है?
Correct. Absolutely. And not only that,
Yeah.
I mean, this is like, now, quick question here.
Yes.
People who are doing this kind of stuff, do they use Excel in the old days before the outline came into existence? Do they use Excel to keep track and do it one at a time, or are you like taking वो लोग ऐसे करते थे अब उनको automate करके दे देते हैं उनको? Is that how you approach this, or was this your just say Excel seems to be the best option right now to do it?
No, so a lot of brand marketers, especially in the retail space, they end up managing all their information in Excel sheets. Basically, क्या होता है? The marketing manager will say, "Acha, I need to create these many different sizes, and with these are all the folder links with all the images. These are all the price points. This is all the information. I need to create 200 of these. Excel sheet diya, folder de diya, one Word document de diya. Now agency you created."
So they were used to those tools, but now you just automated the damn thing for them.
Exactly. So now whether it is a brand marketer who does it, or the agency uses this tool to get it done at a fraction of the time.
Yeah.
To create those 200 banners for a resource, it will take them at least let's say 4-5 hours at least. And that's very optimistic.
Wow.
Those 200 banners we created 5 in less than 10 seconds. 200 will get created in, I don't know, about 10 minutes max.
Correct. Exactly. Fantastic.
So where is 10 minutes? Where is 4 hours? So
okay, great. So what's next?
Yeah, so I think we've covered a bunch of different features. One of the things that you asked early on was about the CorelDRAW thing also, right?
Yes.
My intent in pointing out, the fact that we have these integrations, because as outlined, like over here you see Google Drive, Dropbox. We've also got like a high resolution free stock photo image thing also over here, which you can then search through vectors photo. So you do have some of the stuff that I think people have got used to seeing just by virtue of there's that habit of using Canva. Like if you use Illustrator, there's a habit, so therefore you have CorelDRAW. And therefore to that, in our roadmap, there is this thing of integrating CorelDRAW files also and some of the other stuff. But I think it just comes down to what percentage of people we're actually going to be seeing that. One other interesting thing that we have where we're going to be doing more AI integrations is, let me start that, and because it takes a while to load while I show you some of the share features, is we've got a heat map generation, which basically is going to, I'll start this off because it takes about a minute to give a result, but basically this is going to give you where your attention is going on the design. It becomes very, very, very useful, especially, if you're saying that, I want maximum interest on this particular image or on this particular word. Seeing the heat map will actually give you a result, because this is based on eyeball recognition, of I think a fairly large data set of about 50,000 people. And it'll give you a fairly accurate thing of, okay, using this design, this is what you should keep in mind if you want to improve or tweak your design a little bit more.
Whoa. And
there you go.
So the red means more people are looking at that, right?
Yes. So, that's where more of your attention is going to go, because naturally in terms of eye movement, that's where it will go. But let's say, for example, in this particular thing, you say, I'm talking to an Indian customer, so I want this haldi thing to stand out a little bit more.
Correct. Yes.
So immediately then okay, so then we can't have the pack shot in front of the haldi, or we need to change the contrast. So then where your attention is going to go. So we're doing this is something that we've just integrated. We're going to be doing something similar for content using NLP also. So
Wow.
yeah,
Very
so
interesting.
you have that where it will be. That's not in on the tool just yet. We're looking to maybe launch that in the next couple of weeks. But it will give you a sentiment analysis, which you can also train for it to tell you whether it's going to be on brand or not. So it can be trained to that
Now,
extent.
listening to all these features in my mind, I'm rattling off in my head, and I'm thinking, shit, this is going to be frightfully fucking expensive. But I don't know. I don't know what the numbers are. Have you even put a price point to this solution, or is it right now still for people? Who are you? Okay, यार उसको permission दे दे use. Make an account for him. Yeah, बना दो उसके लिए. Are you calling the shots on who gets access to this fabulous tool, or is there a payment subscription option available where people can then buy it, use it, enjoy it, and then say, "Hey, Karan, what about this? Yeah, मेरे को ये भी लाके दे दे, मेरे को वो भी चाहिए." Where are you on the roadmap on the development part of this platform?
No, I mean, great question in terms of price point. So I think right now we're depending on the features and depending on say number of users and number of the number of files or file weight that you'll have. It's anywhere between say $50 to $150 a month.
Okay.
So it's about 3.5K to about 12K. Now the equivalent, therefore, Acha, you're asking me to pay say $3,500. What is the equivalent value that I'm going to get from that? That becomes a fair question. So the equivalent value of the kind of work that you get for $3,500, doing the same amount of work, you'll be paying at least 50 or 60,000 rupees.
Right.
And that is the trade-off. So it's a significant sort of saving,
Yeah.
and the saving just it multiplies as you go up, because like the higher so who's going to pay say 100 say let's say 7 8 or $10,000-12,000 a month for something like this, which in effect let's say you're paying about a lakh 20. This is for the year, and there also we're offering about a 20% off if you sign up for the year.
Yeah.
But there also the kind of banner resizing or some of the other translation, any of the stuff that you'll be doing, you will easily be having spent at least 15 lakhs plus in the year on the same work. So it's a significant sort of saving. In put in that context, it is fair. It is more than competitive.
Right.
There are some of those price points because it's a global platform. It's a SaaS platform. It can be accessed anywhere. So we're targeting multiple markets also.
Fabulous.
So I hope that addresses your question.
Yes, it does. In fact, I certainly feel $150 is quite a low price. Yeah.
In some ways, yes. But this we're doing as an early test. In fact, some of these prices will be.
Yeah, you might jack it up in the future.
But I think that future will come quickly. So if anyone's looking to leverage the prices, they should do it sooner than later.
So wait a second. Are you saying if somebody gets on board at $150 today, they get to keep that price even when you jack up?
For sure. I think we're going to seal that price for at least the next year.
Whoa.
For those customers.
By the way, that's another thing I noticed. The last time, I think when you were trying to do a demo with me and I was a little busy at the time, one thing I noticed is that this is a lot faster. Is this server pumped up? Have you gone and got that huge freaking, like right now you're clicking and it's just appearing. I'm like, this was much slower last time. I remember, and of course, it's a lot more has happened since then. But and we're talking about what 10 months ago, I think, not more, right? I think around.
I think when we spoke with the team, it was pre-COVID, so maybe early this year, maybe Jan or Feb.
Jan or something. We spoke. It was a lot slower. What have you done? You pumped up the server?
No, well, that's the thing with the product, right? It will always improve, And even if, like for example, the features that come in over here, we're even doing social integration, so you can push directly to LinkedIn, you can push directly to Twitter.
Right.
A lot of integrations and features that are coming in. It's been tweaked and it'll only keep getting better.
No, so that means now once you log into Outline, all these things what you're just showing me is flying at some amazing speed that was not the case last time. Is that because the app is local now because it's cached into the browser, or is it like every feature is actually going to the server and doing something and coming?
A vast majority of it is pinging the server, but the more if there are some files that have been cached onto your thing, it'll obviously seem faster. And the entire thing in terms of security, etc., is on AWS. So it's obviously backed up on stuff that is essentially fairly rigid in terms of speed and reliability and security. So
amazing. This is amazing.
Yeah. So we've done even other we have these other collaboration tools where you can comment and give feedback directly, because a lot of the time what happens, you're not sure what has to come, right? So you type that in, so there's no way of that getting lost. We have this, then you're sharing, you can do directly, like like you have in Google Docs, you can view only, you can control that, or you can even generate a link and share it with someone so they see only that link.
Right, not the whole. You do not access to the whole project data, right?
Yeah.
But tell me one thing. This is Outline is designed for images. Is there any roadmap for video?
Yeah, that's a very, very popular question that comes up. I think you have to listen to the customers. So we have been scoping that out, and we have been thinking about it in terms of how it can be actually be structured and built. So I wouldn't say no to that. In the foreseeable future, you might see that, because our intent is for you to then feel that there's convenience, centralized in one place. Having said that, we're not trying to compete, because there are other tools, just like Canva has a use case.
Yeah, exactly.
There are other tools that have their own sort of use case in the video space. We want to sort of bring in more and more really interesting integrations. Like, for example, the heat map thing that you saw, you wouldn't have seen anywhere else. The NLP on the content that you're going to see in a couple of weeks, you won't see anywhere else. Even the auto resize thing, the degree with which it, the accuracy and how it is worked out, no other tool has. And I can say this very confidently. So, and to all the listeners, I mean, for you and me, Rishi, you have seen this before, and but for the viewers, they're like, "Acha, this is a lot of information." So I just want to, tell them that, okay, one thing that we do have is we have a FAQ section where all the features are broken up as videos.
Oh, nice.
So if you can click on any of the videos, and you will have like a, if I click on, let's say, for example, canvas resize, which is what auto resize is. If I click on this particular one, and it opens up, you will see like a mini me playing on the left and actually talking you through that. And for that matter, I think this video is a damn good tool.
Hey there, this is Karan, and in this video, I'm going to show you the.
This is like Loom, right?
Sorry?
Did you use Loom to create these?
No, I uses this tool called Vidyard.
Okay, Vidyard. Okay, because Loom has that same circle thing happening. I just tried Loom, this application on the net. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And I prefer to do that. I really like your style, because Loom does exactly that. I'm going to make my website training modules in Loom. So this is Vidyard. I'll definitely give that a shot.
It makes it so much more personable, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you having that.
Totally. Absolutely, man.
All the FAQs are there over here, and we also have keyboard shortcuts. So we have keyboard shortcuts also for everything, for Mac, Windows, and Linux.
Nice, very nicely done. Yeah,
that is the product. I think I've.
Awesome, great, fabulous product, and of course you're a master at doing the demo, obviously.
I'm learning from you, sir. I mean, your feedback the last time also definitely helped.
Correct.
It's like a pitch, right? I mean, you're trying to finesse the pitch more you do it.
Absolutely. I mean, because in Apple, when I used to work in Apple, I actually began to understand how demos are done, and I can obviously see you've done this a lot of times to get it at this point, which is really great. And I mean, when I used to see the team at Apple do demos for a particular product that they're launching, and they're showcasing to all the partners in the world, and I would be like, whoa, how many times did they practice to do that? Because the way they got it with the line and everything is awesome. I mean,
it's awesome. And I'm sure then that story inside out of how Steve Jobs, when he launched the iPhone, that it followed only a very specific click here, and if he clicked anywhere else, it would break.
Okay, I didn't know that.
That's apparently how the iPhone was. The first version was actually launched, because they had engineered it in a way where, and they practiced it so many times. You've experienced it firsthand, right? By working at Apple, they're masters of doing that.
Yeah, amazing, great. So this is awesome. So tell us more about that. You said you're going to have something coming up. Well, first, let's do one thing. You've showcased this to us. I'm going to show, for those of you that are already excited like I am, and you think you'd like to get in touch with Karan, I'm going to, right now, you will see his contact details, which is his name, the email address, the website, his phone number, everything. You can get in touch with him right now. now that you've seen his contact details, he also has something else he wants to talk about, which is something that's coming up. Some NGO something you said? I forgot.
Yes.
What
So,
is that about?
so the other thing that we do is a design hackathon, which is to benefit NGOs. And the short version, I mean, short description is NGOs like the idea of doing work for so. I mean, they understand the value of good design, but they can't always pay for good design. And designers or creators like the idea of doing work for social good, but they know that social good can't always pay because the priorities are different, right? So we've done this hackathon. We've done multiple events. Next Saturday, the 19th of September, is the ninth version. It's the second online version. And we're inviting NGOs who need any kind of communication work. Let's say you need a brochure, you need a website, you need a logo, you need whatever design. In this one-day hackathon, we've done multiple ones in the past. We've impacted 75 NGOs through 250 creators over time. And it works. So they can, if they want to know more, whether it's an NGO or a creator who wants to, jump in, go to DESIGNOTHON. That's designathon.com and register. Registrations close on the 16th.
So here, guys, this is the link over here below. Click this link, go to this website, and get registered.
Yeah, and I should just go back for a minute to the thing that Rishi said about the outlined prices. Also, they're not going to remain at those levels for too long.
Right.
So you got them here first. So get it.
Take advantage, guys. This price is going to go up tomorrow. So I think for a company, $150 is a no-brainer for the kind of stuff that you're delivering, and the AI and all of that, and the new stuff that's it. So hopefully they will get the new stuff at the same price, right? Or is that they're going to screw you up? You're going to have to pay more now. Upgrade.
upgrade. You upsell the customer.
Upsell customer. Okay, so at least you know what you're going to get for $150 a month. That's great, and plus he's giving you a 20% off on the yearly plan.
Yes,
I think you should go ahead. At least, can they also come for this hackathon and see what's happening, or that's only for NGOs?
Well, no, I mean the outlined. There's no direct correlation between outlined and the designathon. I mean, outside from the fact that for NGOs we're actually giving a 3-month subscription free, and then we're giving them a discount on the yearly, a bigger discount on the yearly thing for social causes. But if they want to know about outline, the best thing is just to either go to the website and sign up for the early access, or just give me a call or send me an email. Just mention that you got, you heard it on Rishi's thing, that because then that will help.
Give me credit. Karan, it's really great chatting with you as always, and I'm sure people watching this will have a good time, as well as learn something new and know that there's some great tech out there right here in India. I mean, something to be proud of. Fabulous. The team is here. Your entire team is in India. Always.
The entire team is here. We are now, that's one thing that's happened as a result of the pandemic, because we're recording this on, in September now, and it's been 6 months. All of us, everyone's been working remotely. So now we are a remote first company, and we're happy to, if there are people who are interested in working with us, happy to speak about that as well.
Okay.
We're a remote first company, so you can be based anywhere.
Fabulous. This is amazing. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you, Rishi. Really enjoyed the conversation. I'm sure people have fun listening to us laugh as much as I'm sure they saw some value in the product. Thanks again.
Have a great weekend, man. Have a great weekend.
Yes, you too. Take care.